What's up, you guys? So today, as I take off this beautiful makeup, yes, it held up nice. This is late at night. I wanted to record a video, and this video is from this woman named Sharon. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but I'll leave it at the bottom. So the video name is What You Should Ask Before You Start Dating, Courting, or Marriage. And I will have the video link down below. So let's get it, because I'm ready to take off this. I'm ready to see my face. Okay, let's go. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to play the first. I'm going to skip around. I'm not going to play all of the whole video because I don't want to react to everything she says in this video. But the first question she asks is...
The first question is, what are you looking for in a marriage? Now, this may sound like a very easy question to ask, but you'll be surprised that people are looking for different things in a marriage. So
that's true. You should ask a man, what is your intentions about marriage? What do you want out of this marriage? Because, and this is just me telling you the truth, once you get married, this man may say he told you he wanted 15 kids, and you was like, you didn't tell me that. or you know, everybody marriage intentions are their intentions. When you know what a person wants, you're able to basically say to yourself, okay, I can live with this, I can't live with this. And that's easier said before you fall in love, before you get married, and before you yourself say this is something that you want. You know, when I got engaged to my husband, we talked about what we both wanted out of a marriage. And even though our marriage has changed in a way, it stays the same because the basics of what we both wanted is still there. Only now life has changed, and I see y'all look at my face. Only now life has changed, and we have to update what we want out of this marriage every now and then. But it's still the same thing. We still feel the same. We still have the same agreement on what we want out of this marriage. And you gotta make sure you hold the person to what they say they want, not by the grips, but mainly if they say they want a house. Okay, when do you see yourself getting this house? Because I can say I want a house, but you also have to be on the same agreement of when we're going to get this house. Like, not 15 years from now. Oh, well, you said you wanted a house, but I didn't say I wanted a house in 5 years. So that's why it's really important to know not only what this person and you agree to, but also know how long and y'all on the same page. Because, you know, a lot of people say they want kids, and I have a friend that really didn't want kids. And she thought the guy that she was dating would want kids, and they never talked about it. They have kids now, but they had kids late in their relationship. When they had kids, their friends' kids was graduating from college. Why they have small kids, and they're happy to do it the way they did it, mainly because they were able to financially help their kids and build something on what they had. without imposing or straining themselves financially. Okay, so the next question that I wanted to tap on is...
Next question is, how do you handle conflicts and disagreements, or what is your conflict resolution style? Now, this is very, very, very important, guys. I can't stress this enough. A lot of relationships and marriages end because conflicts cannot be resolved.
This is a prime example of when you're with somebody and they have to leave the room, they have to go out, and I'm just letting this marinate on my face. I know I look beat up, but they have to leave the room, they have to go out, they have to figure something out, so they have to get away from the person they're conflicting with. And my friend and her husband, I'm gonna use them as an example, they do that. They both do that. So both of them are trying to leave the room, and then one realized the other is trying to leave the room. The other realized the other is trying to leave the room. And at one point, they just started laughing. Because they realized that they were so alike in how they resolve issues that it wasn't even funny. So they got together. They fell in love. They didn't know what each other conflict resolution is, or the way they handle conflict. And the first time they argued, both of them was trying to get away from each other, and they can do nothing but laugh. And then they realized, okay, let's talk this out, because both of us can't be running away. But it took that moment for them to realize that they did have a lot to learn from each other, and that both of them, even though they were alike, they still had if we can't resolve it right then and there, and both parties are not, this is how I figure out what my style of resolving things is. If we can't resolve it then and there, then I don't want to argue about it. Because marriage is a give and take. And at this point, if both of us are in this type of, I don't want to give, I don't want to take, then there is no need. We'll have to come to it. We'll have to make that decision to come back to it when we can talk about it without hurt, anger, or anything that's going to literally cause more confusion, if that makes sense. Because I know, me personally, I don't like arguing. I don't like arguing. I don't like the way we discuss things and nothing is resolved. Because to me, if we can't resolve it, then we don't need to argue about it. No argument is unresolvable. And I say that because it's the truth. If me and you are arguing and we still have not resolved the issue, then we don't need to argue. Until we both can say, okay, this is what I'm going to give, and this is what I'm going to take. In a marriage, when you argue, nobody is the winner. I was told that a long time ago. In a marriage, if you argue, nobody wins. Because an unresolved argue hurts the marriage. And that's the truth. I do fully believe an unresolved argument hurts the marriage. So, I want to know how you fight. I want to know if you fight dirty. Because there's some marriages where the husband and the wife will just say what what they feel. I've been around people where the husband will call the wife all type of names and still want her to overlook his behavior when he was calling her those names. So after she did the conflict revolution, she said this.
A bonus tip I want to add to conflict resolution is please keep no record of your partner's wrong.
You know, you sitting up here in a marriage, especially a marriage that's going to work, you got to forgive. You got to forget. You got to let it go. And the more and more you hold on to it, the worse it becomes. So when she brought this up, I was like, okay, yeah. So I can see where that is going to be a problem. Yeah. Forgive and try to take it out your heart. But also, and when she say this, know who you marry. That's why in a marriage, everybody should be, if not on the same page, at least round about the same chapter. And I say that because a lot of people feel, oh, if we have the same book, that's all right. No. Because if I'm at the beginning of the book and you at the end of the book, we might as well not be in the same book. And I say that because I had a friend, him and his wife they've always been on the same page about money and finances, and they dreamed about getting certain things, and then all of a sudden her husband starts getting those things that they dreamed about without consulting her, but because but we always talked about this. And like a prime example is the motorcycle. Her husband bought a motorcycle, and she was like, we agreed that we would get a motorcycle, but we agreed we would get a motorcycle when we was retired. And her husband just went out one day, came back home with a motorcycle. Promise you that would stir a big old argument in their house. And they were on the same page because both of them like to ride, but they didn't want to purchase a motorcycle. Not yet. And her husband goes out and purchases a motorcycle. So if you're in the same book, if not on the same page, at least the same chapter. At least the same chapter.
Next question is, what is your love language? This is very important as well, guys, because...
Okay, so... knowing your love language. And a lot of people don't believe in this, what my love language is. But I have two love language. One is, of course, gift giving. Y'all know all my friends know how much I love receiving a gift. I feel like a child because I love to open presents. I love people giving me gifts. I love to give gifts. So that's the type of person I am. I'm always giving to somebody. I'm always treating somebody. I'm always like that. Even on this channel, I'm like that. But my secondary love language is quality time. And I don't mean just quality time. I mean quality time doing something I love. Quality time doing something that I will enjoy. Not quality time sitting there and I'm not enjoying it. No. So my second one is quality time. So I love spending like moments, going to the beach, walking, sitting at the pool, reading a book, and stuff like that when it comes to my love language. So anybody that knows me will tell you I love that. Okay, so this question I felt was the most important out of all the questions she asked, mainly because this question is where your mindset is when it comes to the longevity of your relationship. So I'm going to let her ask a question, and then I'm going to give my response.
Next question is, what is your take on divorce? Do you have any close family member that has been divorced? This will really help you understand how the person views the longevity or the the union of marriage, or the commitment or covenant of marriage. Will they leave a marriage at the
Okay,
slightest
so after she states that, I really want you to understand, when it comes to marriage, I have not seen any woman in my family, in reality, in the older generation of my family, get a divorce. Hear me out. So, I am one of those people that seriously believe that divorce is an option. I do. Especially when marriage is so demanding and only one person is willing to come across, or only one person is willing to work on a marriage. That tees me off when I hear that, see that, and I'm around that. So when I say I'm a firm believer, if you got to pack up your kids, pack up your car, pack up your house, by all means, out. And I don't mean this in a harsh way, but I mean it because it's the truth. One of the things I learned is the damage you can have on any relationship is staying in a relationship when neither one of you want to work it out and resolve the real issue of the marriage. So, if you're going to work it out, work it out. Plain and simple. Because one of the things I realize is when it comes to working out a marriage, both parties should be on board. Not just the one. Not one fighting, not one in there, not one going to counseling, not one saying, okay, this is what our plans is. No, we went to the altar together, so we both should be on the same page when it comes to this. Not the same page, paragraph, line for line, bar for bar. Especially when it comes to the decision making in a marriage. I am one of those kids that I watch family members struggle in marriage, and I was like, please just go and get the divorce. And they would argue and fight and fuss, and I'm like, y'all should just got a divorce. Y'all should have just separated. I understand Jesus will forgive you guys, and I'm not saying this to be mean or nasty, but it's the truth. When one party, and this is an ego thing for me, both of y'all got to go to God humbly and say, this. We put our marriage on the altar. Both of you got to fight for it. Both of you got to go there for it. Both of you got to, it can't just be one person. And you both got to be realistic about the goals that y'all setting after that. Because even though y'all fighting for y'all marriage, it's not, Rome wasn't built in a day. The realistic argue of what happened to crumble the marriage will still be there. So you got to get to the root of that issue, and it might take time to get to that root. Are you willing to put in the time to figure out what happened to make us be in this situation? Not just fight for the marriage. Let's understand so we don't fall back in this hole. Let's understand so we can move forward and be stronger and build more on solid ground. Not only that, let's get to the point where we can both cohesively come together in a place of no anger. Because I've never seen any divorce that didn't have resentment at the forefront. So she did back up and said something else that I wanted to address,
which is, what are your deal breakers? This is a very loaded question because it will let you know if you should continue the relationship or just end now.
What's your deal breakers? Like, what would be the one thing that you know you can't come back from? It's a lot of things that I know I can't come back from. And I'm just going to be honest and real with you guys. And being in any type of relationship, it ain't happening. That's the one thing I like that she said. In everything that you do, you always have to remember that you want to have boundaries. You want to have limits in every relationship you deal with. So, her talking about deal breakers, you should talk about deal breakers. That should be one of your main topics. Like, and it could be anything that you deem is a deal breaker. Like, I have a friend, and I always use examples of deal breakers. Her husband want a dog, right? And she's allergic to pets. No matter if it's a dog, cat, or whatever. Her husband decided to get a dog, and she got swollen because he thought, some men don't believe when their wife tell them stuff like that. When I tell you this girl swelled up so bad from being around this pet, and she had to be admitted to the hospital. And after that, her and her husband had to be separated for a minute because she told him she was allergic to dogs, and he went out and got a dog. So or pets in general, because she's allergic to bunnies, dogs, cats, and hamsters, any gerbil. Don't ask me how. I don't know. That's the whole point of an allergy. But even like faux leather breaks her out. So I don't know what's in it that breaks her out, but yeah, she separated from her husband for a minute. He was mad. Really mad. So, that's the one thing in a relationship that you should talk about at the beginning. I'm allergic. And she's allergic to certain foods too. She has a lot of skin allergies and allergies in general.
I like that question. Next is, do you have a mentor? Do you have a spiritual father? Do you have someone who can speak to you and you would listen? Are you accountable to someone? It's important that you find someone that has an accountability partner, because there's certain times that your spouse may not listen to you and you need someone.
Okay, and this is going to be the last one, and then I'm going to end it. I did not finish her video. You guys can go and watch, but I think I took about the first 6 or 8 things that she talked about, and I will link her video down below. But this is where I wanted to spend a lot of focus on a mentor. Okay, so one of the things that I talked about with a friend recently is a mentor. And she was saying to me that she had problems with her relationship because her husband felt like since he was the head, he didn't have to report certain things to her. So she went to the pastor of their church, and the pastor told him, no, you can't do that. She's your wife, not your slave, your maid. She's somebody that you have to respect in that type of capacity. But one of the things I did learn is that the pastor is his mentor. And I was like, wow, this was something on a deeper level. So by your husband or your spouse having a mentor or somebody they can go to, or somebody that you can go to and say, hey, he's not doing the things that he said he was going to do. She said to me that if she didn't have the pastor to go to, because her husband doesn't listen to his dad. Her husband refused to listen to his dad. And she's like, if you don't, our relationship, their relationship is so very alpha male for her husband. So the things that she say to him, she has to come to him in a way that I was shocked, because this is my friend that is very bold in her spirit, is very bold in the things that she do. So when she was telling me, she was like, yeah, I come to my husband very feminine. I was like, you? Yeah, that's how she come to her husband. I was like, okay, since it's night, I'm going to use the rock retinol on my face. But yeah, she was just, and a lot of things she's told me about her husband, I was like, wow. But her husband is very passionate about things, and sometimes he don't tell her the things that she would like him to tell her. But anyway, so your spouse, both spouses should have a mentor, somebody that you can go to and say, this is this and that is that. For my husband, his mentor or the person that I can go to is his uncle or his dad or his uncles, because it should be more than one, or his dad. So trust me, when things are not going the way anybody think they should, I do talk to them and I do get their advice, and I take in consideration everything they say, and they're not on anybody's side. When you go to a mentor, the mentor should be on the side of the marriage. What is best for the marriage, not what is best for me or best for my husband. What is best for the marriage. And that's not always the same as what is best for me or my husband. So, but yeah, that's all the things that I felt she talked about. And I might do a second video, because something else she brought up later in the video that I thought was really good. And I might do a second video if y'all like this video. So say this video get about, I would say 15 likes. Then I would do a second video on it. I'm wrapping up my hair because I'm going to sleep. But yeah, I will definitely do a second part to this video. And I like the things that she said. I did leave some things out that she said when it comes to spirituality and the Bible, because I don't want to push any type of narrative on my channel, as far as, you guys know I'm a Christian. So I will say it and leave it there. But, and this is a slap, just in case. It has satin in the inside. I don't know if you guys can see it. It has satin in the inside. So I wear this at night with my mask. So, you guys, so I'm going to leave you guys. The last time I checked, you guys, I mean, like, I don't know if everybody's been paying attention to the numbers on our channel, but we are at $4.99. Can you believe it? Can you believe that there are almost 500 people watching little old me? And I'm shocked, because I it's not that I didn't think I don't even know 500 people, to be real with you. So for you guys to be watching my channel, watching my content, seeing what I put out, and actually subscribing means the world to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I just want to say I appreciate each and every person that subscribed to my channel to watch little old me. So thank you for coming to my channel. I appreciate you being here and joining the family. Like, comment, subscribe. And I know you guys are sharing, because we're growing, and I appreciate that. Have a good night.